and advise Senator Khalwale. If you want to discuss, Senator, our colleague Senator Professor Jed, are you standing on the 114? 114. You bring a motion to discuss those matters. Now you can be able to discuss issues concerning your colleague, Senator. Number two, you have mentioned other city Kenyans who are out there, who cannot be able to come to this house to defend themselves. So kindly also bring a substantive motion so that you can be able to mention their names, so that also they can appear before a committee and clear their names. Let us give justice. BONY KHALWALE, stop. You just sit down. Why are you standing, sitting, standing, sitting? Sit down, relax. I'll give you that time. Yes, BONY, what is it?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this. I respect the rules of debate. And Professor Ojenda has challenged me that I'm proceeding.
He has challenged you after you mentioned his name.
Yes, but correctly so, that I don't have facts. Mr. Speaker, I'll move under the standing orders to bring the substantive motion. But just
bring the motion. Don't hand anything. Bring the motion.
Not now, Mr. Speaker.
Next week.
I'll bring. But so that the record remains clear, on 18th of March, 2015, Mr. Speaker,
no, you can't
the
proceed
Chief Magistrate
Senator Khalwale
of Kibera
Senator Khalwale
ordered that Professor Ojenda's account at Standard Bank, he should be investigated.
Khalwale, you're out of order. BONY KHALWALE, Senator Khalwale. Senator Khalwale. Senator Khalwale, you risk now facing the door. Yes, Senator Samson Chelage.
Mr. Speaker, to allow the House to proceed, Senator, could you rule that Senator Professor Tom Ojenda and Senator BONY KHALWALE are out of order as per the standing order 103? Because these are matters of sub judice, Mr. Speaker. We are aware they are under receivership proceedings that are ongoing in court. And they are bringing alive matters before this House, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I request that you rule out of order both Senator Professor Tom Ojenda and Senator BONY KHALWALE. And by the way,
it's
Mr.
only
Speaker,
Senator BONY KHALWALE who is out of order, not Senator Professor.
Mr. Speaker, but also Senator Professor Tom Ojenda has brought matters that are under receivership that are being litigated in court. So he's also out of order, Mr. Speaker, as per standing order 103.
He was provoked beyond reasonable parameters.
No, but Mr. Speaker, the standing order does not say when you are provoked beyond reasonable doubt or beyond emotional limit or beyond reason, you must discuss issues that are alive, Mr. Speaker, before the court. So they should be ruled out of order, both of them, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Andy.
Mr. Speaker, I raise on a point of order number 98, 4, and urge you to request Senator of Kakamega probably leave the chambers, because you have ruled in a matter twice, and he persistently continues to rise on the same matter and insist to discuss the same matter, even when you have ruled that this matter should go as a motion. He still goes ahead and prosecutes on the matter, Mr. Speaker. Is he in order? In fact, it's a very gross violation of not only a point of order, but also disrespect to the chair. So, with point of order number 98-4, may you ask the Senator of Kakamega to leave the chambers? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Senator Oledama.
Mr. Speaker, I'm standing under standing order number 1, but I'm very sure there's another standing order I cannot remember. We are discussing a statement that has been brought by the distinguished senator from Kisumu. Earlier on, your brother, the speaker, gave us directions on what we should do when it comes to debating statements. In fact, if I remember very well, the speaker directed that when it comes to contributing to statements, we limit our contribution to what we want the committee to carry out and investigate. I'd like to seek your indulgence on this matter so that we can proceed, because earlier on you limited our time for debate to 2 minutes. We are now moving into personal issues. The distinguished senator from Bungoma,
That ruling,
Kakamega, clearly
Senator
stated
Redama
that this is an
Orekina.
emotive matter. So I'd like to beseech you, Mr. Speaker, that we do not tolerate this matter anymore. Can you give us directions on this statement so that we can move forward?
Resume your seat. The 2 statements are referred to the Committee on Agriculture. Senator William Cheptumo.
Mr. Speaker, I think my colleague, Honorable Senator Narok, has said what I wanted to say. Even for Honorable Cherarke to allege that Senator Ochenda has spoken about the matter in court, he only said that there is proceedings in court. I think, Mr. Speaker, so that we utilize our time more productively, it is important that you proceed as proposed by my colleagues so that we move to the other
Senator
issues.
Cheptumo, I gave you on a different matter, not on the sugar
okay.
issue.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At least I have used... Mr. Speaker, the point I wanted to raise is that I wanted to guide my colleagues in the House. My committee, Mr. Speaker, has received a number of statements, and especially on matters on drought and food distribution. Yesterday, Mr. Speaker, here, the Minister for East Africa and ASELS and Regional Development appeared before my committee to answer questions touching on the issue of relief, distribution, and so on. It transpired, Mr. Speaker, in that session that department now, or special programs, under the Executive Order number 1, is actually now squarely in the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection. So, Mr. Speaker, I just want to make this clear so that as my colleagues continue to raise questions, they should be able to refer to the Executive Order number 1 so that they are able to direct the questions to the relevant departments. Mr. Speaker, in particular now, my brother Otosi, Senator, has raised an issue on the same subject, and it was read, I think, in the morning. But I felt it was good for me, as a responsible chair, to assist my colleagues so that in future, they raise questions on relief distribution to Minister of Labor and Social Protection. That will save members' time, Mr. Speaker, rather than them directing to my committee, then we write to you, and we lose a lot of time. That is all I wanted to clarify, Mr. Speaker, today. I think it's very important.
Thank you, Senator Cheptumo. I hope now members are well advised that issues on relief should be directed to the Minister of